Hey, you guys, I want to talk to you about how quickly times are changing right now. I have been reading articles online for I don't know how many years now. And I've been watching this trend of us getting more automated. And here's why this makes a difference. I'm not some analytical person who sits behind a computer and researches every ounce of data, but I am really good at spotting strategies and things that are coming down the pipeline. And why this is important is that we are changing to a world that is completely automated. In fact, I just bought a new beautiful white G-Wagon, Mercedes G-Wagon. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's this beautiful kind of Jeep-like industrial type car. And it's about the cost of a small home in Las Vegas for this car. But it's a turnkey car. It's not like push button where it's all electric like Tesla. I did debate getting a Tesla, but I actually thought to myself, this will be the last time that I drive a turnkey car. In fact, right now over the next 10 years, we will all be in self-driving cars. They actually look pretty cool. We can sit and have a meeting, have a cup of coffee. I think drinking and driving and those type of things are going to quickly decline as far as DUIs and things like that. But here's the truth. Our times are changing right now. We are moving into a world that, believe it or not, in the next, they're saying in 2030, which is not like super long, super far away, in 2030, that all middle class jobs will be obsolete. Just take that in for a second. Let me just read something to you. This is powerful. So, Carla, Carla is my stylist. We will be able to print our clothes. We'll be able to print our clothes. You're one of the jobs that actually will be obsolete if you don't become a massive influencer right now. So the only thing that I see that's going to transform some people with the ability to hold I'll say just be able to make great money and be able to hold some sort of a career are the people who already have a built-in audience. And I've seen this over and over and over again. So let me read a couple things for you. So here's some jobs going away. Taxi and limo drivers are going away, of course, because we're going to have self-driven cars. Bus drivers are going away. Trucker drivers are going away. Gas station, parking lot attendants, traffic cops. Just think about that. Police officers. Look at how many of the streets now, at least here in San Diego, almost every street has a camera, right? Where they're giving you tickets. Well, I just got a ticket being in a community, a like self-contained community, and the speed limit was 25, and I was doing 35 in a community, gated community where I was going to a girlfriend's house, and I got a ticket because they took a picture of me, they speed tested me, and they saw me going 35 versus 25. I got a ticket, and I was actually told that if I'm caught again speeding in that community, I'll no longer be allowed to drive in there. Okay, so we're like, they're catching us like crazy. So pizza, other food delivery drivers gone. Mail delivery is gone. FedEx, UPS, daily delivery jobs gone. As people shift from owning their own vehicles and going to transportation on demand, the number of vehicles manufactured will decline. Toyota is now 100% automated. Tesla has nobody working at it. Everybody is machines. New jobs created. Delivery dispatchers, traffic monitoring systems, automated traffic designers, driverless ride experience. I'm reading this right now. Emergency crews for when things go wrong. Guys, doctors are going away. We're already doing surgeries that are done with electronic arms. I personally think that's scary as shit, but it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It's happening. It's happening. Right now, I just heard that Facebook and some other companies were actually working on some automated machinery that were talking to each other, and the machinery got so intelligent they actually had to shut the machinery down because they were afraid of how they're going to control that. So, like, I've watched the movies. Have you watched the movies where the whole world is automated? We're being chipped and things like that. I know this sounds fucking crazy. I know it does. Even when I'm saying it, it sounds crazy. But you have to look up and realize that is the world that we are living in. Within the next 3 years, we're going to have 5 million jobs, and that number is escalating fast. Within the next 13 years, we're not going to have a middle class. Do you consider yourself middle class? Like, are you a middle class income earner? So one of the things that I'm very clear about is I have helped many people become entrepreneurs who really aren't entrepreneurs, but I've helped them create their own jobs, right? Like they still have this conversation that, and it's okay. So someone who replaces their own job or creates a side hustle will be somebody who really has a conversation that they don't want to work too hard. They just want to live a nice life. Okay, that's an employee mindset, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've helped thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people create a life like that, which means that they just go to work on their own time schedule. They take their vacations on their own time schedule. And that sounds nice, right? So good for them. But they've become an influencer and created their own marketplace, right? So they're not looking to somebody to tell them how much they're going to get paid. They know if they put in more effort, they'll get paid, right? However, they don't have a mindset of really changing the world. Sometimes they sound like they do. If you watch them on Facebook Lives or their webinars, it sounds like they do, but they don't, because and again, there's nothing wrong with this, right? But I'm being clear with you so you can make a distinction of where you are. Make sure you're not being mentored by somebody with that mindset if you want to go really, really far and not just create a job for yourself. Okay, so there is the conversation of, I just don't want to work for someone else, but I don't want to take time away from my family. I don't want to give too much. I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. and do coffees with Shanda. I don't want to do that stuff because it's too hard. If you have that mentality and you're an entrepreneur, you are really just a quasi-entrepreneur, which means that you just replaced a job because you are, I would say, selfish enough to just say that you don't want to work for anybody else. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that person is capped in their mindset but they're in a safer position than some of these pizza drivers and people like that, because they're an influencer, and I've taught them how to build audiences and influence them. That is the way of the future. Right now, on our iPhones, on our Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives are growing massively. We are actually the new, NBC. We're the new Fox network. These networks, a lot of them are closing down. They're losing a ton of great talent right now. They're laying off people right now. The world where employees get paid a ton of money right now, we have unemployment rates really low, but we actually have some great talent on the marketplace, but they still want these huge paychecks, where it's not really working like that anymore, because school system K through 12 is being reinvented right now, you guys. It's been reinvented. This scares the shit out of me, but it doesn't matter what I feel like. It's happening. They're automating the school system right now. K through 12 is being redesigned right now so that our children are taught by computers. You can fight this all you want, but you can't disrupt this disruption that's coming in the marketplace. I was in an airport and I met this cute little computer that was a little robot, looked like RTD2 from Starbucks, or from Star Wars. This little computer ran around, this little robot, and it mimics a human's voice, and it teaches your children how to read better. Well, honestly, sometimes that's probably better than some of the parents that work their ass off so much they don't take time to be present with your kids. Like, I have a rule. My phone goes into a box. When I am sharing a meal with someone, I turn my phone off now so that I'm more present. So here's what I'm trying to bring to light for you right now. It's really important that whether you are an employee and you're an attorney, a doctor, what are some of the jobs? Postman, farming and agriculture is going to be replaced by drones, sewing machine operators, switchboard operators, stylists, designers. We're going to be able to print our shoes and our clothes, right? File clerks, office machine operators, florists, loan clerks. All these people, you real estate people, all these things are going away. They're going away. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to your attention is because if you're anything like me, when crazy stuff was happening in the real estate market, I was really this spiritual person who said, I don't like all this negativity. All these people are being so negative. And I was ignorant. This whole conversation about, if I don't think it'll never happen to me is bullshit. It's bullshit, because the world is changing at such a rapid rate, and you're either going to get in front of it and position yourself to really help a lot of people and influence a marketplace, or you're going to sit and read your spiritual books that just basically say, if you sit here and never think a bad thought, that nothing's going to ever happen to you. And that's not true. All of these spiritual teachers who have been out there having these conversations are going to have a rude awakening with the audiences that they're actually influencing. Because when shit gets hard, people drop and pray. They start going back to church, they get back into scripture, and you start to see that these things are very well crafted in the essence of, you have to become an influencer. You have to be more generous than anybody else. Right? You have to give at a level where you actually go out there. Think about giving like the new marketing strategy. And I don't mean this in a sleazy way. I mean this in like I'll have my clients say, I'm generous because I gave my webinar to somebody else. Well, yeah, I'm giving my funnels to my clients at my next mastermind that I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. That is generosity, but if you're a business owner, you're a thought leader, an influencer, then, doing those things is actually how you make more money. It's also how you create raving fans that love you. And so that's kind of a standard nowadays of, that's what you have to be doing to be making it in the world. You need to be someone who doesn't hoard every bit of information you have. You need to give, because on things like this, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, there are influencers like me who are going to give it all. And then people who are hoarding or don't want to share things or are not generous are going to find it's really hard to get traction. So if you're afraid of giving your best stuff on a Facebook Live, an Instagram Live, or a free webinar, if you're afraid of giving your best stuff because you're afraid that people will never hire you, you need to unhook from that mindset. Like, you need to send me a message and get into my leadership training, because you need to unhook from that mindset if you're going to make it. Because you have to not be afraid of that. You're limitless. There's more in you. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to give, right? But on the other side, you have to actually forge a mission in your marketing to go and look for people to help. I got to know every single one of my mentors because I was always one of their best students. And the reason why is because I took the coaching and I did absolutely everything they asked me to do, no matter if I was afraid or not afraid, whether I believed them or didn't believe them. I completely 100% trusted. There are many times I sat with my foot, stomping my foot, saying, I don't believe I should do this. And I still did it. And my life kept opening, expanding. There's a power to being able to be led, and there's a power to be able to be a leader. And they're both leading qualities. But here's what the message I want to share with you. Middle class is going away. I've been saying 5 million jobs in 2020, right? We're about to move into 2018, right? So that's not long, you guys. It's like, how quick does 6 months go by, right? Like, if you got kids, you look at your kid, they were born, you look at your kids, you're like, oh my God, they're so big. They're only 6 months old, but they're so big. Or then I look at my little Zach, my little two-year-old, and I'm like, wow, like, I hold him now and his legs feel like they're dangling to my knees, and he's only 2. But I'm going to look back up and he's going to be 6. I'm going to look back up again, he's going to be 12. I'm going to look back up and I'm going to be 60. I'm going to look back up and the whole middle class is going to be wiped out. And so I don't know what it's going to look like when 30, 40, 50% of our economy doesn't have a job anymore because it's been replaced by technology. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't have a crystal ball. But here's what I do know, that I and many of my friends are being contacted on a regular basis with people. I don't know if that just went away. There we are. With people that are asking us to promote their products through our Facebook Lives, our Instagram Lives, to post, to go on vacations for travel companies and post about the vacations so that they can use that to influence their marketing. Right? Like, I'm talking magazines, I'm talking, I buy all my clothes almost all online now. Everything is going in that way, but companies are calling me, they're calling my friends, and they're asking us to promote their stuff. Now, we're being paid for it, okay? Now, let me share something with you. I'm going to do another Facebook Live on content creation and Instagram Live on content creation. Don't prostitute your audience, right? Don't prostitute your audience out. But you really, if you're going to make a lot of money, you have got to influence in a big way. The number one thing you need to work on is building a very big email list. Before you work on building a huge social media presence, build a huge email list. Any of these social media platforms can go away like that. If you notice, we don't pay for them. If you don't pay for them, you do not own them. Okay, so we spend a ton of money to build up our social media platforms, a ton of time. It's a job, right? Like showing up on a daily basis is a job. And no matter whether you like it or not, the people who get out of their own way and stop saying, I don't want to do this, and they start doing it, they're going to be the influencers that are way ahead. So think now, I want you to think, influencer, how do I become an influencer? First, build a big email list. I have clients that I show how to do this, and they got shiny object syndrome. They're like, well, what's another way I can build an audience? What's another? And I'm like, why don't you just focus on the one way that you know works? And just put all your attention into it and go crazy building your email list. You know why? Because you own it. You own it. You own that list. Now, if you want to grow your YouTube, your Facebook following, your Instagram following, you can much easier do that by using your list to push that and then start using traffic. That's a whole nother conversation. The easiest, lowest hanging fruit to become an influencer is build an email list and then use that email list to build your social media platforms. Don't get distracted, you guys. Now is not the time to be too busy to do this, because this is like a freight train coming down the path quickly, and you're either going to hit a brick wall or you're going to literally go through that wall because you picked up so much momentum, you're going to be fine, right? So please don't be ignorant. Do not be the type of person who spends a lot of time saying, how do I figure out my keynote speech? How do I figure out my signature talk? How do I figure out how to blog? How do I figure out how to pay a ton of money to come up with the most beautiful website? Websites don't make money. They don't make money, okay? Landing pages do, which can be put up in about 15 minutes. Landing pages do. What you need to focus on is to create your own TV network, your own radio network. You start with building an email list and you start with communicating with that email list on a regular basis. I keep seeing my clients on Facebook and Instagram, and they'll post a post and then they'll put free gift, free gift, free gift, free gift, meaning that everything they do is to still get. Stop being that. Every time you do something, you don't have to make an offer, right? Stop being a taker. Start being a giver. You honestly, you look like a freaking idiot when you do that. You got a 1,000 person Instagram following or a 500 person Instagram following, and every post says free gift, free gift, free gift, free gift, or grab by this, grab by that. It's like, okay, that's like going out on a date and saying, all right, I fed you, let's go to bed. Or like, come on. You guys have got to, you don't like people treating you like that. Don't treat your audience like that. Don't treat your followers like that. If you can't figure out why nobody's listening to you, look in and see, every time I do something, do I do it with the mentality of getting? Or do I actually do it from a place of inspiration? I read the Bible on a daily basis. You often see me quoting scripture. And I do that because when there's something that stands out to me that changes my mindset, I give it back. I haven't sat there and went, how do I construct this into a way to get them? And that's why I have hundreds of thousands of people who follow me on Facebook. My Instagram page grows at a rapid rate. I only have I think 10,500 on it right now. But just 2 months ago, I had 2,000 people on it. Okay, so when I turn my attention to grow a platform, I use the same strategy over and over and over again, and that's generosity. And I remember being taught years ago when I was learning online marketing that you have to put out a free ebook, a freemium. There's all these influencers have come up with these different names for these things. A freemium, a free product, and everybody knows it now. It's normal. Like everybody who's never started a blog before or ever had their first client knows they need a free product out there to get. And so instead of creating a free product that's incredible, because their come from is from a place of generosity. They actually create a product because they think they need it, and they do it to get. So there's all these different levels of generosity in your head. And you have to learn to become congruent, where you're just a giver, which means that the way of the future is actually looking for people to give to. You should be taking care of everybody you can, small, medium, large. Influencers, like my clients, many of them take care of me. I take care of them. The ones that take care of me, who do you think I'm more prone to take care of? Them, because they show up. I see them on my leaderboards. I see them on my calls. They're asking questions. Who are the people who get left behind? The quiet ones. The ones that can't get out of their own way to create a video. The ones that are still not doing Facebook Lives or sending emails to their list or videos because they don't know what to say. Because they're still caught in this conversation of everything I have to do has to return a get to me. A get. So I hope that this is valuable for you. I hope that I'm influencing your mind, because my job at the end of the day is that you have a job in 3 years from now, that you are someone who makes a difference in the world with your life, and that your life matters. And I want you to get that your voice matters, which means that you have to get outside yourself and really do whatever you have to do to be able to become an influencer. Number one thing, I tell this all the time, and then you're going to watch a stupid launch online, because anybody can get online and launch now. And you're going to think that now you have to go build your Instagram page, your Facebook page. And I want you to focus on your email list first. Okay, I want you to focus on your email list first. So if you need my help to train, you're always welcome to reach out to us. There's, I think we actually made it really easy for you. I think it's coachmeshanda.com. If you go to coachmeshanda.com, you're not going to talk to me, but you can talk to somebody on my team to get coaching about your strategy. I put out free training all the time. I'm on 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda Monday through Friday, which I put totally free training. Whatever you have to do, figure out how to grow an email list and get obsessed with it and become an influencer to that micro market that you own. Because it doesn't matter if people say people aren't opening up emails anymore. Okay, that's fucking bullshit. I don't know about you, but what is the number one thing you're in on a daily basis? Emails. We're inundated by them. Okay? There's also text message marketing. So if you own the email list, you can text message and you can email. And I don't know about you, but I answer every single one of my text messages. Okay, so it is important that you take your audience and build it offline first. Use the offline to influence your online, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to be safe. You're not only going to be safe, you're going to thrive, and you're going to help a lot of the middle class people. You're either going to hire them and give them a job, if it's not an automated job, or you are going to be able to help them. So here's what I think the way of the future is. I really believe that people are going to stop, and I think this is a God thing. I believe people are going to stop working for money, and I think that people are going to start pushing a movement. I think they're going to start going after their passion and things that they love, because the money's not going to be there anyway unless they're an influencer, right? So unless they've actually built an email list and they've learned how to influence that email list, they will not have jobs. So going after money is not going to be an ambition. If you watch the ambition level, our ambition levels are going down. This is why I have entrepreneurs, fake entrepreneurs, they're really just replacing a job, that don't want to give more because they want to travel more or they want to be with their family. They're not actually compelled to make a difference in the world. That's why they're not creating a strategy to still be with their families and give more. They're just not getting out of their own way. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you actually have a limiting conversation that you think it's your family, your husband, your fitness, or making a big difference in the world, and you actually say things like this is too hard, you are an entrepreneur that really is a side hustle entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur who really just created a job for yourself because you just want to own your own time, and that's fine. Stop saying you want to make a huge difference in the world, because that's a compelled entrepreneur. That is a real entrepreneur. That is someone who is a serial entrepreneur who cannot help themselves. Their drive is so strong that even when they say they're going to take off time, they end up finding themselves being pulled back to the computer because they're compelled. So my job is to create a strategy around that so that you can scale and help more people, right? All right, you guys, this is Coffee with Shanda. I am drinking my macchiato this morning. I don't know what you're drinking, but I hope this made a difference for you. If you want to hear something that you want me to talk on, go ahead and pop it in the comment section. I'm happy. You guys on Instagram, you can send me an Instagram message. I'm happy to talk on any subject you want me to talk on, whether it's business, whether it's on the future of business, whether it's on how to influence. What does that look like? I'm more than happy to give. So Monday through Friday, I do Coffee with Shanda, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.